Hi everybody, welcome to Andrew's Cooking. Today I'm going to do something quite different for you guys. I'm going to show you what to do with the dressed rabbit that you purchased from a butcher shop. I'm going to show you how to portion it up. I'm going to show you how to tell whether it's a good rabbit or not. And I'm also going to show you how to marinate it. And then what I'm going to do, that's going to be stage 1 of my video. Stage 2 will be the cook itself, alright? So I can split this in 2 different ways. Either fried rabbit, or I could also do it as a stewed rabbit as well. But I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. Now, I helped my buzz nunda do it. I helped my nunda do it. I definitely helped my dad do it, and I've done it on my own 1,000 times, okay? So, yes, there's probably other ways to do it. This is how traditionally it was done in my family. I never saw any deviations or differences whatsoever from buzz nunda all the way down to me. My son, or my sons, should I say, they enjoy eating rabbit. They pretend not to know what it is. They like to think it's chicken, obviously. Okay, but I'm a bit more open than that. I'm a bit more transparent. I tell my kids exactly what they're eating, where it comes from, and what it's all about. Now, don't feel sorry for it. Please don't feel sorry for the rabbit, okay? Because by the time this one was bred, captured, killed, and sent to me, there's probably another 500 to replace it, okay? These things actually breed like rabbits, all right? So, sustainable source of protein, 100%. So let's get started. That's my backdrop. Okay, so I'm going to start you on the process and we're going to go there. It's a short process. It's easy for me. I'm using basic tools. Okay, all I'm using is a carving knife, a sharp one at that, a chopping knife, a cleaver. Okay, I've sharpened it. I've sharpened all my tools. And modern society, I'm actually going to use a set of chicken shears as well, all right? It's the similar process, similar bone structure and size to a chicken, in all due honesty, so don't be concerned about it. I'm just going to show you how to portion it correctly to get equal amount of cuts into it. The problem that you have with rabbit is when you do butcher a rabbit, is the meat is in the back legs and the hind quarter, more or less, of the rabbit. It's going to be thick and it's going to be hardy. Then you're going to have the riblets, and then you're going to have the front legs and the breast area, okay? They're all going to be a thinner cut of meat. The problem that you have when you cook rabbit is basically, because all the meats are a different thickness, it's going to be so hard to fry up and get them all without one section drying out and the legs being raw and everything else, okay? I'm going to show you how to get through the entire process perfectly. This is stage 1. This is the cut. I'm not too concerned about delegating the portions to meet a person. This size rabbit is a 1.2 kilo rabbit. Okay, that's enough for 3 people, all right? If you're going to cook for more than 3 people, for a banquet or something like that, consider 2 to 3 rabbits, all right? This is a small rabbit by nature, okay, 1.2 kilos. There isn't a lot of meat on the ribs, there's not a lot of meat on the breast and the front leg area, but there's definitely a lot of meat in the back end of the rabbit itself, okay? So most definitely, you don't want to eat a rabbit that weighs anything over 1.8 or 2 kilos. You'll find them for sale. Don't buy them. It's crap meat. In all due honesty, it's crap, okay? The rabbit's built up a toughness, it's built up a strength, its hind legs have got more muscle on it than what you want to consider, and it's an entirely different process again to marinate it and to get it ready for the cook, all right? Trust me on this one again, okay? You don't know me too well. I've only started showing you my recipes recently, but this is, I'm giving you my heritage, what I've been raised upon, okay? And I truly believe that I'm giving you the right methodology to do Maltese style rabbit, all right? So let's start the process. So I purchased this rabbit from the butcher shop. I picked it up, this was, as I said, 1.2 kilos. So I'm going to open the bag up. It's already been dressed for me. Okay, as I said, I used to kill my own rabbits. We used to breed them on the farm. So nice enough, a dressed rabbit will always come with the parts that we enjoy the best. So we got the liver there. Okay, that's a beautiful piece of liver. It'll also come with the kidneys inside there as well, okay? So we've got some kidneys going on there, okay? So they'll come out, and we're going to cook those. Don't discard any of those internals, trust me. They have the most prized portion of the rabbit, all right? So anyway, I'm going to discard the bag. So here we have is a rabbit. Okay, so the first thing we have to do with it is dissect it. We're going to cut it all the way down the spinal bone in half. And then we're going to have 2 exact sections. All right. So here's our liver. Now I'm gonna explain something about the liver and about the quality of your rabbit. Okay, if you get a rabbit and it comes in processed for you, ready to go, just like this one has, and it's got a spotty liver, okay, feed the rabbit to your dog straight away. Don't even process it and go for it. It hasn't been a well-raised rabbit. It hasn't been well-bred. It hasn't been intended for cooking. Whoever decided they were going to delegate to us that they were going to provide us with the feed has done it all wrong, okay? The rabbit's been dehydrated, or it's got some kind of bug in it or whatever, turf it straight away. That rabbit is as healthy as it can be. Look at that. Okay, the liver's clean. Now, on a rabbit, if you're not going to kill it yourself, but if you get a rabbit that comes to you and it has the blue membrane through there, okay, that's a bile sac, okay? If you split that bile sac and you ruin it, it'll leach acid basically through the liver, and you'll have to throw that liver out. This is the prized section of the rabbit, trust me, all right? The kidneys are there, they're good to go. I can tell you straight away, this rabbit couldn't be any healthier, all right? Look at that, the kidneys are great, all right? So I'm proud to say that I'm going to do this rabbit justice for what it was raised for. I'm going to show you how it's going to be cooked well, all right? So here we go. So I'm just going to place this over here actually, because we're not going to marinate that. You don't want to marinate the liver and kidneys, all right? So I've got the rabbit ready to go. So the first thing I'm going to do, it's a thawed out rabbit. This was frozen when I purchased it. Don't be just concerned about that. It's still fresh, all right? So I'm just going to pat it dry, just so it doesn't slip out of my hands when I'm doing my job, okay? Now, the fat content of the rabbit will tell you another story as well, all right? There's plenty of fat going on with this rabbit here, okay? As you can see, the cage has got fat inside it. It's a well-fed rabbit and it's ready to go, all right? So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cut through the spine. Now, I'm using tools that Nundle never used or Dad never used. I'm going to have a go at the shears today, okay, to make everything easier. To use this, you need a little bit of brute force and a bit of accuracy. And if you get the rabbit wrong, when you cut through the spine, what's going to happen? It'll leave splinters, okay, through the entire protein, through the entire meat. All right, you don't want splinters in it. We'll have to rinse it out, and we'll have to disflavor the meat by washing it out. Okay, we don't want to wash the meat at all. It's got the flavour in there. It's been killed properly. Okay, so it's been drained of its blood. Okay. And everything you get in there now is just going to be pure taste. You don't want to remove that by rinsing it in the sink, all right? So I'm going to have a shot with these today and see how we go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to portion the rabbit in half, directly in half, from side to side, okay? So I'm going to start up here and go through the breast and the rib cage, and that's going to help us separate the rabbit, okay? Now, I've got a couple of other items here which I don't want, sorry, and I'll explain that to you later on. So we're going to come through here. Now, it's been processed correctly. It's been chopped at the back. All its gizzards have been removed. Everything's been gone out of there. It's a clean, fresh rabbit. Okay, so I'm quite happy not to wash this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through the centre. I'm going to work through the midsection of the entire rabbit. Okay, now we need to do this right through the centre of the spine. We don't want to go anywhere else, as I said, because otherwise you'll have the riblets on one side which are long and nice and beautiful and held together by the spine section. On the other side, if you don't cut it through the centre, you're just going to have a flappy set of ribs which is going to fall apart in the pot, okay? So we need to go right through the centre of the ribs. Now, you'll see there, right, in the entire spinal area, you'll almost see a dotted line right through the centre, right through there where you're going to cut, okay? It's mapped out for you, okay? These make my job so much easier. I wish I had these tools around when my dad was around. My dad used to swear at me so much for, moving the rabbit. You moved the rabbit! Okay, here we go. There we go. All right, so now we've got two complete sections there, ready to go. All right, so I'm going to put one to one side for a moment so I can concentrate on one section. So we have the front of the rabbit here, and we have the beautiful leg, the beautiful long leg, and its shoulder blade basically. we want to get all that off in one cut, okay? So it's not hard to do. So we get to the back point, okay, the back point of the front leg, right there where the shoulder bone sticks out, and we're going to cut in behind it. And one quick chop, maybe two, maybe use the chopping knife. That's cut number one, okay? So we're going to throw that in there. And so what we've got now is we've got the whole rib section and the breast all the way there. We're going to make about 3 or 4 portions out of that. I'll work that out as I go along, by the way. So we'll have a look here. Try and leave the skin intact on that, and there's a reason for that, okay? Try not to let it roll back and peel back, all right? So we're going to do one portion here. That's a nice sized rib cage there. That's my favourite cut. Out of the entire animal, you can discard the rest. If you can give me 20 of these pieces, I'll eat them all day long. All right, so it's nice. So we're going to go for another cut here. Another nice piece. That piece there, when I fried it, when I'm going to show you in the second stage of the video, that's another great cut, okay? There's nothing better than like having the, it's almost like pork crackling. When I show you when it's done, it's almost like pork crackling with a little bit of meat there and a little bit of bone to get through, okay? It's a really nice cut, all right? So let's go again. We've got one more portion here to cut. Another healthy piece of meat there. Look at that. Okay, nice and thick. Good portion again. Lots of meat to get through in there. It's good for stewing, okay? Because once you put that in a stew, there's no fighting the meat around the bone. It just falls off the bone while it goes in the stew, all right? So that's another cut there. Now the leg. We can do. Now the leg is quite a large piece. Okay, it's like a Marinating kind of chicken, to put it bluntly, but we need to section that out again. Okay, so I'm digging in here, and I'm looking for the leg ends and where the body starts, and I found it. So I'm going to go through there with my knife, right there. I'm going to find it, and I'm going to put my chopping knife into it. One more hit. Okay, that's a proper leg there. Now you can divide that in two again if you really want to, and the reason for it would be to try and keep the meat in the same amount of protein content. Okay, as I explained to you before, when you cook a rabbit, you know, as you can see, you've got a thin piece there, you've got a very thin piece there, and you've got this really thick piece here which you're trying to cook out in an even amount of time in a fry pan, okay? So it's your call. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to cut this down one more section again. Okay, that's going to even out the content of the meat. So I'm going to do this one more time, and you'll see it all with clarity. That's not a guessing game here. You'll see that I'll do it all over again the same way. Okay, so let's get the rabbit down. I'll start from the back this time. All right, sorry, wrong weapon there. So I'm going to find where the hind goes in the leg there. I'm going to carve it out. Okay, it's a beautiful cut there. See how large that Maryland is again? Okay, so I'm going to beat it down one more time. Very good. Okay, look at that. That's probably the largest portion of meat you're going to get of the rabbit. Okay, so let's go here again. Let's cut our rib cage down. I'm going to come in here now. I'm going to carve out from the front leg. I'm going to carve the section out there. That's it. Okay, that came a little bit better than I thought. So we've got a front leg right there. Okay, that's like KFC, right? Legs and wings, right? We've got 4 legs. The front legs replace where the wings would be on a chicken, all right? So we've got plenty going on there. And my favourite part, the rib cage. All right, so now you've seen how easy that was. There's nothing to it, okay? We're not going to throw the organs in. We don't want to marinate those. We want to cook those as they are in butter. We're going to want to fry those gently, and we're going to feed them to our kids. It was like a humble thing. You know, you give the best part of the beast to the children, all right? I grew up eating liver. I watched my siblings, the younger siblings, get the liver before I did. Okay, it was the best protein of the rabbit, and it was just like a gift to the kids to, wish them to eat better. Okay, so you don't marinate that because the marinade will actually cook the liver. All right. So now I've got my cuts. Let's get rid of that now, the bad part. So I've got my cuts sitting here. So we're going to marinate this now. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use a ton of garlic. I love garlic. All right. So what I've done is I've used 1.5 full knobs of garlic here, okay, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what they're called, a full thing of garlic there. So garlic, it's for the marinade. We're going to use some for the fry up as well, okay, so we're not going to discard it. We're going to continue using it. I'm going to show you how to cook the garlic with the rabbit without burning the garlic over a 2-hour fry, okay. So you're going to want to watch the next video, okay. So anyway, so that's what I've done. My little tweak, it's not my own personal tweak. I love adding chili to the mix as well. That's for when I fry the rabbit, okay? If I'm using it in a stew, I won't add chili whatsoever, okay? So here we are now. We're going to start preparing it for the marinade for the minimum of a 2-hour sit. Okay, so we want to do all this 2 hours prior to cooking, and whatever juices are sitting in there, whatever wine's marinated with the juices that come out of the meat and whatnot, that's going to turn into our stock. And we're going to use that stock to continuously pour over the rabbit while we're frying it up to keep it consistent. And we want to get a golden, tacky, sugary, caramelized coating over the entire rabbit. Okay, sorry for stuttering there. I just lost my train of thought. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So we're going to get our rabbit, our garlic, and we're going to get it ready for the chop, right? We want to taste garlic in this everywhere, okay? So some of these we're just going to bash up to put some flavour right into the dish. Okay, what I'm cutting off here is just the ends of the garlic here, which is the dry parts, which is good for nothing apart from the bin. Okay, so we're going to get it all sorted out. Hope you can see all that, sorry guys. So we're going to chuck a whole bunch of garlic in here. Traditionally it's called fennec biltong with biltong meat. Okay, with rabbit, with a piece of missing garlic and some white wine and some red wine. Okay, I'm going to be gentle this time. Okay. So as I said, we're going to save a little bit for the fry up and also leave some in there for the marinade, okay? So we've got plenty going on here right now. Sorry, I didn't want them to flick off the counter again. As you can see, what I've done there, we've got the garlic going in. Okay, so I'm going to fry my rabbit. So I'm going to add some chili. It's your choice. It's your choice, seriously, okay? It adds another dimension to the flavour of the rabbit, and it really does. And it's really good for rabbit that's not gamey. You want to add some extra flavour to it. Game rabbit's got its own flavour all over again, okay? It's not a flavour to be messed with. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up and just let the pods just do their own thing, okay? We're going to chuck them in, okay? Split them open. It's not going to go into the fry up, by the way. I'm going to pour these out when we get ready to go, all right? So here we go. A little bit nervous about doing this because it's Easter, people worry about the poor bunny and everything else and God knows what. And I know how it all works. Everybody feels sorry for the rabbit, but trust me, there'll be 1,000 to replace this one. That's just dying for us. Okay? So anyway, so let's get over here. Let me clean my little tray up a little bit. So we're getting ready again, okay? So this is going to happen. Wine. Just use whatever wine you would drink. Don't use any cheap junk. Now, if I was cooking a rabbit that was wildly raised, a captured rabbit, for example, I would be marinating it in brown vinegar and wine as well. The brown vinegar helps to break down the muscle and sinew in a strong rabbit, like a hare or something like that. Okay, so we don't need that because this is farm raised. As I said before, it doesn't have the same kind of muscle content or ligament content that a wild rabbit would have. All right, so red wine is what I'm going to use today, and go hard. Okay, don't muck around with it. Go hard. All right, half a bottle of wine. You won't need to spend $10 on a bottle, $6, $8, whatever you get for a bottle for. Get a non-badged wine. You know, as long as it's a red wine. Okay, so we're good to go. As I said, don't add these to the marinade. Okay. So now what we're going to do is make sure it's all going well. On a wild rabbit, use brown vinegar as well as red wine. It'll help break down the muscle. Okay. Oh man, I can smell this already. All right. Alcohol, as I keep saying to you guys, I hate drinking the stuff, but geez, I love eating the stuff. All right. So that's going down well. So minimum 2 hour sit. I wouldn't go 24 hours because the wine will actually start cooking the rabbit itself. You don't want that. It'll tense up the skin and do everything else you don't want it to. What it will do to the rabbit though, in a short term, say for 2 hours, it's going to leave a sugar coating, so it's going to caramelise. When I fry this in the pot with some butter and some olive oil, you're going to have a sticky caramelised coating, and that's the way rabbit should be done. All right, so we're almost done here. Okay, so you might want to come back in about an hour's time whilst it's sitting in the fridge waiting to do its thing. Okay, and just do a quick rotational flip. Okay, the rabbit over, and get the marinade soaking on the other side again. 2 hours sit in the fridge, 24 hours if it's a wild rabbit. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Take care. God bless. I know Easter's coming up. That's not the right time to put an advert about a bunny up in here. But hey, if you still believe in Santa Claus, you shouldn't believe in rabbits. Thank you, guys. Bye.